Yeah, yeah. Oh, hello there. You've caught me playing video games. Now, I love playing video games. I really, really do. But there is a small part of me in the back of my mind, like a lot of hobbies, that I kind of think, well, do you know, playing video games is fun, but it's not really that productive. I'm probably wasting my time. Maybe I should be doing something else that's more useful to society, that will be improving my skills, making me better at contributing. Well, this got me thinking, are there any benefits to video games at all? So I've done some research, I've found out, and I'm going to talk to you guys about the benefits of video games today. So the first thing that we're going to talk about when it comes to video games and whether or not they're good for you is an old tale that you've probably heard. Maybe as a kid, if you were really into video games, your parents would say to you, "Hey now, Tom, don't play video games for too long because you'll damage your eyes." Well, contrary to popular belief, it actually turns out that video games don't really damage your eyes. And in fact, when taking a test at the opticians, video gamers can resolve one level down in detail compared to those who don't. So they're more practiced at picking out small details and they're able to resolve the smaller line compared to people who don't play video games very often. In terms of color, well, actually video games help us to resolve color a little bit better. It's not a huge improvement, but small differences in the color gray are able to be seen better by people who play video games when compared to people who don't. So it just goes to show really that there's no need to worry about your eyesight. As long as you're not going over the top and getting really close to the screen, your eyesight will be fine and might even improve when it comes to playing video games. Now, when it comes to action games, shooters, things like that, these are typically seen as the worst games from the outside. You just shoot people, it's just violence, there's nothing good there. Well, actually, it turns out that these games do help us as well. And in fact, action games in particular, they promote high levels of quick thinking and absorbing information, processing that information very quickly and coming to decisions much faster. These games typically have high levels of uncertainty: who's around that corner, what's the best strategy, where should I go from here? And so it promotes categorizing facts and generating new knowledge faster. These games also help us improve tracking peripheral objects with our eyesight. Similar to what I said before about improving eyesight, well, it also helps us to track objects better using our minds and also just interpreting the data. But what about casual video games? Well, casual video games are good in a different way, and playing one for just a short time can help to alleviate our mood. If we're stressed out and we're getting fully involved in a casual game, we're not thinking about what's stressing us out, we're just chilling out, having fun. This just helps us to lower those stress levels and restore that balance when we've been doing activities that typically require high amounts of brain function. So when it comes to online multiplayer games, well, these have been shown to help improve communication and to help to form bonds. When you're overcoming a very difficult challenge with your friends, it's something that you'll remember for a very, very long time. Just the sense of achievement, the camaraderie, it helps to improve concise communication to get through these challenges. Typically also, if you're playing a game online, conversation just tends to flow a bit better than if you're specifically calling somebody up. I don't know about you, but I find that if I'm talking to somebody while I'm playing a game, it's just easier just to keep a casual conversation going than if I'm just, say, on the phone to somebody and I'm thinking, oh no, what do I talk to them about next? Whereas if I'm gaming, there can be a pause for a little while, it's not the end of the world, and then you just keep talking and playing at the same time. When it comes to story games, well, similarly to what I said about books, these can help us to improve our empathy. And again, it's a very similar situation. You're getting into the mindset of a person that you don't know very well. You're putting yourself in situations that you've not been in before, and by experiencing the story that way, it helps us get in touch better with our emotions and we can feel the impact of what's happening much better. But nobody's ever really cried at a video game, right? Have they? What? Get out of here! So finally, it turns out that the effects of video games on the brain are not just short term. So there's a great TED talk by Daphne Bavelier, and it talks about how they ask some non-gamers to come in and they try and do a puzzle which involves working out whether or not an object has been rotated in 3D space. And they find that quite difficult to start with. They go away, they play video games over a 2-week period, just in short bursts, about 45 minutes. Then when they come back 2 weeks later, they do the same task, and actually their function at doing that task has improved. And you probably think, okay, well, that could be coincidental, but the interesting thing is that when they then come back another 5 weeks later, in fact, that function is still improved. They're still able to do the puzzle better. So it's really interesting to know that these benefits stick around, and if you do continue to play games over a short period of time, then you will retain these slight improvements when it comes to puzzles and brain function. So the last thing I want to say on this, guys, is that this is not an excuse for you to just go and play video games all day. If you do that, if you consume them all day, every day, don't do anything else, then you're not going to feel any benefits. Binging anything is not a great thing to do. Your social life will struggle, your work life will struggle, your productivity will struggle. So I'm not saying go away and just play video games forever, but what I am saying is if you play games for a short period of time on a fairly regular basis, then actually there are some small benefits that you can see in your brain, in your communication skills, depending on what type of games you play. All in all, it looks like video games aren't so bad. I'll be quite happy to go away and occasionally play World of Warcraft, and I won't beat myself up too much for not doing something productive, because it turns out that there are some benefits to playing video games if you do it sensibly. Well, there we go, guys. I hope you found it useful. If you want to learn about the benefits of some other hobbies, then I do have a video on the benefits of reading, which you can check out here. Thanks very much, and I hope to see you in the next video.